My undergraduate research was on linguistic identity and nationalism in Serbia and Croatia. Basically, I went around to Belgrade, Serbia, and Zagreb, Croatia, and I asked people on the street, hey, how do you feel about your language? Is Serbian different than Croatian? Are they the same language? What's up with that? So Serbians are way more likely to say that Croatian is a part of the Serbian language, and that's kind of because of the perception of Croatian breaking off from Serbian. Croatians are more likely to say, yeah, that's our language. But at the same time, Croatians are more polarized, which means there's more like people on either end, people saying, yeah, this is a language, or yeah, this isn't a language. Serbians tend to be more homogenous in their views on language, whereas Croatian, it's a more controversial thing whether or not it actually exists.
And what does that tell us about Serbia and Croatia?
Well, it's an echo of the actual partition that happened after the breakup of Yugoslavia. The Serbian language is the continuation of Serbo-Croatian, and the Croatian language is seen by some people as this new thing, and that's why it's a little more polarizing. But to others, it's a real identity-building thing, and they see it as a different thing. Now, to you and me, like, you're British, I'm American, we have different words, like lorry and truck, we have different accents. That's kind of how Serbian and Croatian is. It also gets a lot messier when you bring in the question of dialect. So in this traditional Serbo-Croatian language, there's 3 dialects. There's Štokovski, Kajkavski, and Čakavski. These are all different ways of saying the word what, but they're ways of labeling different dialects. Serbian and Croatian, the literary languages of Serbia and Croatia, are both based on the Štokavian dialect. However, you still have these Kajkavski and Čakavski dialects mingling into both countries, and those are more different from Serbian and Croatian than Serbian and Croatian are from each other. It's completely made up and fake what a dialect is and what a language is. I'll bring in an example for you here.
Yeah.
When we talk about Chinese dialects, Mandarin and Cantonese can be almost mutually unintelligible. We call those dialects of the same Chinese language. However, when you look at
I feel like there's debate about that.
but they're spoken about as dialects, and China will
Really?
tell you that they're dialects.
Okay.
The Chinese government will tell you it's dialects because one army, one navy, you gotta have one language. But we look at Spanish and Portuguese, which have 90% lexical similarity, and we call those different languages. It would be ridiculous to say that they are the same language, but that's because we see them as belonging to these countries with borders that are different from each other. And that's what it comes down to. A dialect and a language is really what the vibe is based on the political situation.
But then, Ruben, off camera, would you say that Catalan was a dialect or a language?
Are you getting at the fact that it's in the same country?
Yeah.
No, it's clearly a language, but again, that's because of a national identity. If Catalonia historically, if it had a reason to want to be part of Spain, people could argue it's the same.
I used to live in Barcelona, and the Catalan language is a huge point of pride for the Catalan people, and it's part of what constitutes their identity as a people. The fact that they speak this language differentiates them from the rest of Spain. It's one of the biggest things of Catalan identity.
As long as there is some sort of nationalized sentiment around it, it doesn't have to specifically be the army.
No,
Navy
it's the
thing.
idea of a nation state or a
Yeah,
people group
okay.
sharing something.